Alrighty, since we finally entered the final stretch of the NHL season and every team has about a dozen games remaining, it's time to get into my predictions of the final standings. I'm going to go through every division and every team one by one and predict where they will finish in their division, see if they'll make playoffs, wild card, get eliminated, if they top their conference, and all that. So it's really tough to predict it this year. It's really tough. A lot of great teams. So sit back and enjoy. I would love to hear your predictions if you guys disagree with me down below. But yeah, without further ado, I'm just gonna get right away. Started with a few of the teams that have already qualified for the playoffs. So starting with the Vancouver Canucks in the Pacific, I'm just gonna put them 8th right away. I don't believe in the Vancouver Canucks this season. I think that yeah, it's just not the Canucks year, you know. And they've already been eliminated, and it's the tank was obvious. They traded Quinn Hughes, they traded Connor Garland. Yeah, the tank was obvious from the start. It's even more obvious now. So. Yeah. The other team that was eliminated, the New York Rangers, will also be putting last in their division in the Metropolitan. Just because, yeah, this year has not been going plan. And oh yeah, by the way, all these standings currently are updated as of March 26th at 8:44 p.m. EDT. If that interests you, if that matters. But anyway, I'm putting the Rangers at 8th. They have only 65 points. Florida is the next Eastern Conference team with like 73. They're far away. I don't think they're going to catch up. They have not been great this season. So yeah. Now for the two teams that have qualified, the Colorado Avalanche and the Dallas Stars. I think that Colorado will stay in that first place and will walk away with the President's Trophy. I thought that these logos would fit. Okay, there you go. There. Bang. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. And then I'm going to put Dallas at number 2. So yeah. I thought these logos would fit. I don't know what happened. But yeah, so those are the already stayed. So, and Colorado will win the President's Trophy. As you can see by the wild card, by the asterisks here, that's the wild card spot. So there will be no wild cards in the Pacific. There'll be 2 in the Central, 1 in the Metro, 1 in the Atlantic. So I'm just gonna get started on the Pacific Division because I think it's the worst division in the National Hockey League. Yeah. So last wild card, even a team that wouldn't make the playoffs in the East would be first in the Pacific. That's just how ass they are. So I've already talked about Vancouver. So I'm gonna talk about the Ducks. I think that they've just been so great this season. Their young talent has just popped off. Katagoche, Beckett, Seneca, candidate for Rookie of the Year. I'm gonna keep Anaheim in first in their division. I think that they're going to take home that first seed in the Pacific. Take home ice advantage against whoever that first wild card will be in the Central. I think the choice, honestly, is obvious. I don't know how they're going to do in the playoffs, though, just because they're too young. But that's a video for another time. Also, if you guys want to see more NHL-style videos like this, Hit the like button. Yeah. I'm branching out from Pokemon. It's weird doing something new. Anyways, it's time for our next team that I'm going to discuss. I swore to myself that I was going to do the teams in order of this list, but according to my script that I only wrote for the Pacific Division, this list breaks it. So, Edmonton Oilers is next. Yeah, I broke my script. Where do I think they're going to place? I think they're going to place third. Honestly, they're cooked without Leon Draisaitl. Their star sniper. But I think they're far enough away from the Kings and the Kraken and the Sharks that they'll stay in that Pacific top 3. I think they'll take home the 3rd seed. They won't get home ice, and I don't think they're going to get past the first round, honestly. They're not. They've been doing Edmonton things this season, and I don't think it's going to work out how they wanted it to work out. Now, I've got the Kraken next on my list. They've looked good at times, but they're such a boring hockey team. They're a disappointing hockey team. Not the most boring, because I can make a whole list on boring hockey teams and why they suck and why they're boring and why I don't like them. The New York Islanders. But Seattle's just one of those boring teams. Very mediocre. And they're not good. They want to be good. They're not good. I'm placing them in 6th. I think they're currently in, 5th? So I'm dropping that a spot. Damn, I really didn't do this list in order, because I have the Kings next. So the Kings are next on my list. Again, sack the Kraken. They've looked good at times, but yeah, they're too old, and yeah, it's gonna suck losing Andre Kopitar, but maybe there are rumors about it. This opens up a spot for Austin Matthews. They were talking about getting Matthews on the LA Kings or a team in the West. So I think it was Utah, Anaheim, and LA. I think LA would make the most sense. He could play with Panarin. But yeah, this season, unfortunately, I think I have him in 5th. Will not do Andre Kopitar in his final year justice, which is sad. But let's be honest, are we surprised I don't? So, next up, a team that disappointed the hell out of me. Calgary. I really see, this is where my list goes in order now a bit. Just I promise the rest of my list is in order. Well, not really, because I just placed random teams there and hope for the best. But yeah, Calgary's disappointed me this season. I thought they were going to be good. I'm placing them in 7th right away. They traded all their guys away in the trade deadline. They traded Anderson before. They traded Nazem Kadri, Mackenzie Weegar. They're tanking now. And even though they're 7th of the Pacific, they're so bad that they can still get a top 3 pick. So now the fight between the young talent and the cheaters. Unfortunately, although they've been great this season, they're not supposed to be where they are. Macklin Celebrini has been incredible this season. Probably gonna hit 100 points, which amazing. And just his 2nd season. I have to put the Sharks in 4th. I just don't think that they are exactly at that playoff spot yet. Which is really sad, because I had high hopes for them. Yeah, sure, we'll put it like that. I have very high hopes. And I'll put the Golden Cheaters at number 2. They tried doing the whole LTIR loophole thing. It didn't work out for them because they didn't pick up anyone at the deadline. But yeah, so that's my predictions for the Pacific Division, so Vegas will play Edmonton. Now up with the Central, we've already established Colorado and Dallas. I'm just going to establish Chicago. They've impressed me this season, although they're going to finish as a bottom two and probably get a top 3 pick if they can in this year's draft. They really impressed me. They probably could have been higher with the season Connor Bedard was having before getting injured. So next year, I think they bounce back unless Connor Bedard leaves. If Bedard leaves, they're cooked. I'm gonna put them in 7th, and I'm gonna put the St. Louis Blues in 8th. They're ugly this season. It did not work out. I don't know what the hell happened, but it did not work out. They lost Robert Thomas, or no, they didn't lose Robert Thomas. They were talking about about selling Thomas, selling Kyra in the offseason to the Habs. Never really did happen. I would have loved for that to happen, but it didn't. But they were also talking about during the trade deadline. Colton Parayko was traded to the Buffalo Sabres, but he said no, so he stayed. Falk gone to Detroit. Brayden Schenn, the captain, now on to the Islanders. This team is falling. If they can get a top 3 pick between McKenna, Keenan Veroff, or Ivar Stenberg, then that'll be amazing for them. Next up is Utah. They're in that fourth wildcard, that first wildcard spot right now, and I got them staying. They've been good. I think that they've flown under the radar. Honestly, I feel like they're not talked about enough. But I really like Utah's play this season, and I hope it continues. And to fly in the playoffs, love their jerseys as well. I know people are hating on the logo, but I love that logo. But yeah, I think that they kind of have it easy. I think I'd rather be 4th. I think first wildcard is the best position in the whole Western Conference. Well, maybe 2nd or 3rd in the Pacific as well, but because I don't want to be 5th, you have to take on Colorado. I don't want to be 2nd or 3rd because you have to take on Dallas or Minnesota, or they're taking on each other. So I'm basically leaked. Yeah, I'm putting Minnesota at 3rd. Minnesota's so boring. I don't know what to say about them. But yeah, Utah's getting in on him. That's best of both worlds. But yeah, I'm putting Minnesota at 3rd. I feel like although they're starting to play bad, I think they're they're ahead enough of Utah that it will make a difference. So now the battle for the last wildcard spot. Winnipeg and Nashville. Right now Nashville has it. And I'm a Jets fan, but since I am a full unbiased ranker, I'm putting the Winnipeg Jets in that spot. Yep, you heard it here first. I'm not biased. I just have knowledge. Winnipeg is making the playoffs even after this hellhole of a season. Yeah. We just need to beat Colorado twice in a row. That should be easy. We did it once. We can do it again. It's 1-1 as we speak. And then Nashville just needs to lose. Even if they have that 5-point lead, it's okay. They just need to lose and we'll pass them. Yeah. So those are my standings so far for the Pacific and the Central. This is what we're looking at. So right now I have Winnipeg taking on Colorado. Yeah. I don't know how long that's going to last. President's Trophy curse, I hope it comes for Colorado. Dallas against Minnesota. Utah against Anaheim. Vegas against Edmonton. San Jose, LA, Seattle, Nashville, Chicago, St. Louis, Vancouver, and Calgary have all been eliminated. And I have the Rangers in an elimination spot already in the Metro. So that's what I have so far. So now it's time to move on to the Eastern Conference. This is going to be a tough one to predict. Alrighty, now, it's time to get to the Metropolitan Division. If you didn't notice, I took a break in between. Oh, what? Oh, I forgot I had my auto clicker on. Should probably turn that off. Okay. I messed a lot of things up here. Anywho, we're going to continue on to the Metropolitan Division. I'm just going to start with the first team right away, the first place team, the Carolina Hurricanes. I think they're going to win the Eastern Conference. They just do not get enough recognition. They do not get enough recognition for all that they do. But yeah, Carolina's just so good. But they can also suck at times. Now equally, I'll go to 7th. I'm not doing my shit in order because it'll confuse me, and I'm just going to put the Devils at 7th. This has been an off year. They're low-key not doing too bad, but the Devils suck. Now, I'm going to give it a buck real with you. I'm going to put Pittsburgh in the top 3, or top 4. I'm going to put them, I'll put them at 2nd. Actually, no. I'm contested. Because they're making playoffs. I think they'll get the wild card spot. They'll be stuck with Carolina, probably. I think they can do it. Actually, you know what? No, I have them in 2nd. Yeah, I have them 2nd. They'll get home ice advantage to the New York Islanders, and the Columbus Blue Jackets will get to play Carolina or whatever team it is that they're going to play. Between 5th and 6th, I believe the Flyers are going to push. But yeah. So as I currently edit this, that's my standings for the Metro. I know I'm going through it quickly, but yeah. Now I'm gonna go more in depth for this division. I'm gonna start by putting Buffalo at number 1. They've been just so good this season, and for first time in 15 years, they're actually gonna pick the playoffs. That's incredible. Not much to say about Buffalo. Now, Les Habitants, Montreal. I have them placing 2nd. I think they're going to pass Tampa Bay for that home ice advantage, which might be a shocker to some people, but I really think they can do it. I think they have the talent. I think they can do it. But how long will we last in the playoffs? That I can't predict. I did not put a logo for the Maple Leafs, and that's fine because they're getting dead last. They'll probably be followed by Florida. This has just been such an off year for Florida. Actually, while we do this, let me get myself a Toronto Maple Leafs logo. Yeah, this has just been such an off year for Florida. Not what they were supposed to be at all this season. And you know what? I think that's for the better. But, yeah. So, I'm not complaining that they weren't too good this season, honestly. I don't think anyone is, other than Florida bandwagons. So, now, I'll go through these in order because deciding playoffs between these teams is tough. Yeah, I know there's the obvious Tampa Bay Lightning here, but do they fall? Do they fall to 4th? I think they're making playoffs. Do they fall to 4th? I would like it. Do I think so? No. But, if they want to do that, we would really appreciate the favor. But I think we're unfortunately going to have to take them on in the first round, which sucks. Because I don't think we can beat them. Now, between these 3 teams, who gets that last playoff spot? This is tough. Ottawa's sitting on 85 points. Boston on 88. Detroit on 84. This is tough to predict. But, based on the game I saw yesterday, I think a Boston Buffalo series would just be so good. Just based off that game I saw yesterday, I think this will be a great series. I think I'll put Detroit at 6. They always fumble in March and in April. So Detroit goes 6, Ottawa goes 5th. Those are my predictions. Yeah. These are my predictions for the NHL season. So if you guys enjoyed, I'll come back to it come playoff time. So if you guys enjoyed, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you all next time, whether it's a Pokemon video or an NHL video. Goodbye.